Yeah. Hi guys. So here we got the second guardian. You can see the void portals on the ground. They are protected by metal or whatever. And yeah, at first I was wondering how to deal with this, but then happened by by luck. You can see the boss smashed with the morning star on one and broke it away. I tried the same, but it didn't work. As you can hear, this commentary is not as usual made when I play, so not a live commentary, but I did this afterwards, and this is will be the same for the next 3 episodes. So all episodes except the last one, the ending. That's because I finished the game yesterday. Yeah, I played about 3 hours or so, but then I realized my recording program did not track the microphone because I did reinstalled my audio drivers because I still have some issues with random pops and clicks in the microphone sound. Yeah, well, I reinstalled the driver and my recording program decided to use 2 tracks, one for gameplay and the second for gameplay too. Yeah, and usually the second one is the microphone track. Yeah, and I only realized this, as I said, after about 3 hours, just before I want to finish the game in the last episode. And I was thinking about just doing the videos without any commentary, but then I thought that this isn't really what I'm doing on my channel, so I decided to do a post-production commentary afterwards. Well, and thinking about what can I say besides seeing how I play the game. Now I'm trying to land on its head. I'm gonna talk about my gaming history, how it all started a long time ago, and how things start. Will explain why I like this games like this one, which are like action adventure games. Yeah. Adventure usually means you go on exploring and you have to solve any kind of puzzle to advance in the game. And action means action. Yeah, you got combat. Although it's not so easy sometimes to specify a game to one genre, because Darksiders has also some RPG roleplay elements in it. You see, I'm still trying to land on the set. It's not so easy, because the only safe time when it's safe to land on the set when the morning star is on the ground, but he has to be near one of those portals, else I can't glide on top of him. So I try to get him again. As you see, he walks through the other portal and this shit. Ah, okay, this works. Now I get it. Yeah. Okay, I will start at the very beginning. The first... Well, when the whole thing started, this was about video gaming. It was also, for me, I was there from the beginning, I want to say, because it was the Nintendo Entertainment System console. Small, square, white, yeah, 8-bit console and Yeah, of course I got the game Super Mario, Tetris, and some soccer game. Super Mario was kind of fun, but the most fun I had on the Nintendo Entertainment System was with the game Legend of Zelda. Yeah, it was the first game in the Zelda franchise, which is actually now about 20 games. Yeah. And almost all of them are made by Nintendo itself. Yeah, there are some other, because you can see a lot of handheld for Game Boy or Game Boy Advance systems and so. But the first game was on the NES system, 8-bit. And back in those days, the games. Now I get it. Yeah. Crushing to pieces. Yeah. And well, back on those days the games they were kinda simplistic. I mean, there wasn't much to guide you there, especially in the first Zelda games. You had a small booklet where it was described a little bit about the story, because there's the Prince of Darkness, Ganon or Ganon, and the story is really simple. We have the Prince of Darkness, we have the Princess Zelda, yeah, which is kind of like an elf type. You can see it in their ears, and you are Link, the hero, and you have to save the princess. Well, that's all of it. And yeah, that's not the reason because the game became so a great success. The great success was because it was kind of like the first action adventure style game, yeah, where you got a hero and you need to power up and especially gain new tools, new weapons to advance in the game. You have to explore, kind of solve some puzzling. Yeah, like I'm doing now. I'm just staring how I can solve these mirrors, but again, this is sometimes it's so easy, and I'm used to look around like in all those Zelda games. When I activate now all three mirrors at once, yeah, now I can proceed with the soul ray beam of light, charge this globe up, and then I can use this elevator lever or button or whatever. Now the first Zelda game, you started your hero. Yeah, I didn't have to buy this game because I got many friends, they had this game and we just borrowed games. Yeah, I gave him one and he gave him another, you know what I mean. And they were all stuck. Yeah, no one has beaten this game. They don't know how to proceed, and there was no internet at this time where you can just Google or search. Yeah, Nintendo had a phone call service. Yeah, and you could call there, and you have to wait a long time before someone was there and answering. And I did this sometimes for some games, but mostly it didn't help me. I don't know why anymore. It's, yeah, I guess they just look up in some book and they didn't know how to do it either, I guess. Well, anyway, I borrowed Legend of Zelda. No one has beaten it, so I already knew I couldn't ask anyone for help, but I really like this game. Yeah, I really like. You just started there, taking your hero, and you basically I guess you had nothing. You started in the forest, and there was a cave, and in that cave there was just an old man, and he just said, "You can take the sword, young hero." That's all it. Yeah, and we had the top-down perspective and a kinda huge world. Yeah, and you basically had every freedom, and there's the problem. You had every freedom to walk in any direction and almost access all areas right from the start. Yeah, of course there were some areas where the fiends and the monsters, they were harder. In the graveyard you have ghosts, and in the mountains I don't know anymore, and there were knights. Yeah, but you could, and the game didn't hold your hand in any way. Yeah, basically you have to figure out where to go first by yourself, by exploring. And I guess this was the problem. This game was not so easy to be finished. Yeah, well, the first dungeon you just stumble upon after looking around, and then you could see the concept of what they made in Legend of Zelda. You had there was a kinda correct order, pre-designed order how to do the dungeons, because one dungeon you get, when I can remember correctly, the candle, so you can see in the dark. You get access to bombs, to a boomerang. Yeah, and of course you're getting a little stronger. Yeah, but basically you need things. Yeah, for example, we needed the candle because someone said this was for the third or for the fourth dungeon, that there somewhere in the eastern forest there was the entrance to the dungeon, or what they called it. Yeah, and you just have to look around and burn all away with your candle or lamp. I don't know anymore. Yeah, and then you find the entrance to one dungeon, and basically the whole game worked by this way. You have to find all dungeons by yourself, and of course you can enter a dungeon and then you see you are stuck, you can't proceed, can't continue because something was missing. Yeah, so you have to go on another round and look. And I really like this game. There wasn't much text in this game, just a little bit, so it wasn't that much of a problem for me because I was just getting started to learn English in school. So after some time I finished this game, and this was the first time where I really liked these types of games. And there was a direct sequel, Zelda 2, on the 8-bit console. And although this is, I don't know, this game is about 20 years old, Zelda 2. Yeah, I guess it's called Link's Awakening or so. And up to now, this Zelda 2 on the 8-bit console is considered by many players to be the hardest Zelda game. Yeah. They wanted to try out something new. There were some typically RPG elements, like you gain experience by defeating monsters or doing quests in some kind of way, and you had the choice how to level up all by yourself: health, weapon, your sword, or your magic points. Yeah. So this wasn't the real problem. The real problem was we had a top-down perspective, but now the combat, they wanted to make it more action style. And what came out of it was action style, but sometimes very hard. Yeah. And the only starting point you had in the Zelda 2 was a castle where Zelda was sleeping, the princess. And you had 3 continues. And as usual, yeah, you have to explore the whole map, but this time you can't access all at once, because it was a very much more bigger map this time. But you have to find items like a hammer or gauntlets, clothes to smash boulders, or a raft, yeah, to access, to walk over the water, yeah. Yeah, walk over the water was able with some kind of boots. First you had a raft, yeah. The problem was top-down perspective to walk around, but we had a side-scrolling combat. Side-scrolling combat style, yeah. When you are in the dungeons or when you encounter monsters on the map, then the screen changes, yeah, like in Final Fantasy game. The screen changes to a side scroll, and then you have to jump around, slash your sword, slash it at the normal height, or crouch and slash it, slash below. You could use your shield, yeah, and of course you had your spells. And the combat was really challenging. The monsters in the game, they had very dangerous attacks where you can die so easily. So this was the first thing in this game. But the second problem we have is you have 3 continues each time you start the game. Yeah, you of course you can save your progress, but you won't save where you always started right in the castle, and you had so much ground to cover. You had to walk through caves and have to cross deserts and graveyards, open fields and forests, yeah, and some zones they slow you down, and each time monsters were popping up and the combat screen comes and you have to reach something far, and you have to do what you want. You have to do the dungeons, yeah, only with 3 continues, and when any of you can't do it, yeah, you have to start the journey again from the castle, because all items, and I guess experience points too, you have gained are not lost, yeah, but anything else is. And the dungeons, they were sometimes really long, and so basically the problem was getting to the dungeon, yeah, starting the dungeon with 3 continues, and then go through the whole dungeon, fight almost every monster, and then reaching the Endgegner, or end boss. Yeah, Endgegner is a German word which many people use in the foreign languages, and I find it very funny. Yeah, where you have to beat the Endgegner, and then you have made some progress. Else not. Yeah. And still now is considered one of the hardest game, but I was already a Zelda fan. And I don't know how long it took to beat this game. Yeah, I mean, look at Darksiders. When I die here, this is not a real deal. There are so many so many checkpoints. When I die in this room, I fall down, or monster kill me, I just start in the previous room, or just in this room again, and I have half health. Yeah, I have enough health to go on. There is always progress to be made. Yeah, and when I can't remember how long it took to beat this Zelda game, yeah. But it's now so long ago, and still I have this in my memory that when I did this, it was for me how to explain, like I was climbing a huge mountain. Yeah, it wasn't easy, yeah. But when I did this, it was a real good feeling. And then, already at that time, when I memorize it now, I reflect this. I'm comparing to my friends I had. Yeah, they also loved gaming, but they did not finish Zelda 1 or didn't finish Zelda 2. Yeah, but I did. So when I think about that now, I can already say this was the time where I became somehow a gamer. Yeah. What I mean is this: when I love games so much that when I really liked them, although they were kinda hard and sometimes boring, I wanted to finish them. Yeah. I wanted to finish them. Yeah. Some years later, I saved all my, I don't know how it's called. You get once a week, you get some little money from your parents for your pocket. So some kind of like pocket money. I saved almost everything of this because I wanted to get the next console, which was I guess it's 16-bit now. Yeah, 16-bit or 32-bit, doesn't matter, just a number. But it was the Super Nintendo system, the Super Nintendo. Oh, the graphics. This was so much better. Now, the graphics had much more detail, and there were much more color in the games, and the games become again much more bigger, and there was just much more. You can see that the game developers, they had now the possibility to have for much more storage data. Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay, so here I have now the ray of light to the second skull. That means we're gone. Now Asriel will have a little cutscene where he says, cool job.
The universe is sick, Horseman. The Charred Council refuses to admit it, but those of us who look, we see we had to do something. An open attack on the Dark Kingdom would violate the treaty. What you're proposing is madness.
Asriel, evil darkens every corner of creation. Heaven waits. The Council ties our hands.
To question them is to question the Creator. Do you believe you know better?
Yes, old friend. I do. When the seals are broken, Hell will send its chosen to declare battle rights. Their leaders will be gathered in one place, and there we will sever the head of the beast. The Hellguard stands ready.
Breaking the seals will trigger the end war. The kingdom of man is not yet strong enough. Earth will be destroyed.
There will be no war, Asriel. We will crush the Dark Ones before it's even begun.
The pact is a sacred covenant. Even in victory, we will face the wrath of the Council.
They will arrive to find the seals intact. And it will be our word, Heaven's word, against that of the Prince of Lies. Now do you see?
The seals will be reforged. All will believe that Hell's legions invaded and were delivered to justice by our hand. For the glory of the light, will you do this?
No, Asriel. You old fool.
Yeah. This was Abaddon's plot. Breaking the seals.
We broke all but one. Abaddon ordered the final seal not be harmed. He protected it himself.
Are you certain?
Without question. We dared not involve the Horsemen. We never dreamed we would have to, until it was too late.
Yet I am to pay the price for your betrayal.
Treason! War. You will root out all involved and make them pay. Starting with this one.
No.
Fool! You deny the will of the Council?
You heard the Angel's confession. My service to the Council is ended.
We made you. We own you. We're not done until you find the destroyer and shut him down. Balance, remember? Get up. Azrael lives until he stops being useful. After that, you will do your duty.
Yeah, they showed me shortly where I have to get to, and at the very highest top. Yeah, the Well of Souls must be shut. At the very highest point, we could see the Beholder's Gate, where I need to find the key first. So this is here new. These new void portals appeared when the room rearranged Earth. Anyway. So I'm up to the task, getting the second ray of light. This is the second ray of light, or? I don't know. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed this a little, talking me about my gaming history. And well, I decided to do it, and I hope there are at least some who don't mind, at least, because it somehow distracts here from Darksiders. Of course, now the Super Nintendo system, yeah, they brought gaming to a new level, and A Link to the Past, we can say it's the third Zelda game, yeah. I don't know if there was any Game Boy Zelda at this time already. And A Link of the Past was a very huge game. Yes, was kind of really a new level. And this was only from a top-down perspective, but with some very funny, enjoyable combat. Yeah, and for many people, Zelda fans, for them, this is the real Zelda. Yeah. For me, it's not really the real Zelda, because it really didn't change over time. But for many, this top-down Zelda on the Super Nintendo system is the real Zelda, what Zelda defines, yeah. Because they were really fans of top-down perspective. I like that too, but I will come to that later, but why it's not for me the real Zelda. As you can see, what they did, they wanted Zelda to be about advancing, exploring, and getting new weapons, and always doing puzzles in the dungeons. But what they wanted to change too is the combat. Yeah, they wanted Zelda combat to become more action, more fast, more reactive. Yeah, seeing what the bosses do, what the enemies do, and you react to them. Yeah. And the Zelda, I can still remember when about half through the game, I don't know anymore, when I got the Master Sword from that forest, and there were some sunlight. This was a kind of dark forest, but there was some sunlight breaking through the trees, yeah, shining on the sword, which was inside a stone, like the Excalibur tail, yeah. And when you can, then you just grab the hilt of the sword, pull it out, and point it towards the sky. Ah, this was so cool for me. Yeah, this was so cool for me. And Zelda started to bring some more story, some more text into this game. And I remember I played this game first time just for me. I'm not the one who plays games multiple times when nothing changes. I don't really like this. I don't do this with movies too, you know? Only when they're really good movies and after some years. But this game I played about 3 to 4 times because, I don't know, for example, I had 2 friends and when I was hanging out with them, they told me, yeah, I have the Zelda on the Super Nintendo, but I don't know how to advance. Let's take me a look. And then they wanted me to play it, and then they just said, I can tell you how to advance. I told them, but no, you play. I just want to watch you. Yeah, they had fun just watching me playing. Yeah. At first, I did just showed them here's the dungeon, and you can get to what you are looking for. And turned out I played the whole game for them. Yeah, they just waited when I come over, and then they said, "Here, come on, you can play Zelda for me." I said, "Yeah, okay." I get something in return. Yeah, I asked them, okay, I'll play Zelda for you, but you give me, you do something for me too. I don't know anymore what I get because it's just some small stuff. Yeah, like you can see, I'm figuring out how to go on the other side and fall down because I'm a very impatient player, and yeah, yeah, that's the way I play. I can't change it. Can't really change it now. But sometimes I play it safely and I look and okay, now I look on that one and I see I have to wait till it turns. And then I jump over. And I realize here I have that red stone I need to crush. But on the Super Nintendo system there was not only Zelda. Was starting to was the Final Fantasy games. Yeah. Although combat was just a whole other world. It was turn-based, where you give players commands. I mean, many of you know Final Fantasy and the old games of Final Fantasy. You had on one side, on the right side, you had the characters you control. On the left side, you had monsters. And then you would choose a command like normal attack or magic or an item, and after you have chosen this character, you had a party, usually up to 4 or 5 members, yeah, in your group, and all you just choose the controls. And at first I remember I didn't like this at all. Yeah, I got this Final Fantasy 3. It's called. Yeah, but it's in another order. It's called Final Fantasy 6. And I got this from a gaming shop, and I played about 30 minutes, and then I thought, what the fuck is this? But I liked that there was text. I liked how there was so much story in it. And in this time, yeah, this was a huge boom. These games, these fantasy games, they did advertising. Yeah, they did advertising with how many words were in that game. I can remember this because people liked that. They liked the story in this game. And now I have the key, and now I have to behold this key, and now at last I can use that on the door. Yeah, to play a little bit on the Darksiders. But they did advertising. In this game we have 20,000 words. Yeah, it sounds funny, but I can remember this. I remember this in the gaming magazines. Yeah. And okay, this was cool for me, and I liked that I have equipment. I could choose a chest armor. I could choose leg armor, different weapons. I had many spells, and another experience point system where I get level. But the combat, what the fuck I thought in the first. Yeah, I choose a command, and the character just stays on the right. It did not just moves 2 steps, and then swings the sword, for example, into the air. Yeah? I mean, you know this, but I'm just describing for those who don't know this. It just, and then slash. There was slash animation on the monster on the far left side. Yeah? Nothing more. And I didn't like this at all. I went to the gaming shop and said, no, this is no game for me, and I returned this. Yeah. And I exchanged it for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Yeah. The Final Fantasy on console before this one released in the United States and in Europe and so, because in Japanese there were more Final Fantasy games at that time. And these games were a huge success. But then I took Mystic Quest at home, and this game was the same. It was Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Yeah, this was the same, but I saw it was the how it's called, before Final Fantasy VI. Yeah. This was the game before, so I saw, okay, the graphics were not that cool, and I couldn't move really much. Combat system was the same, yeah, but not so much story in it. I just tried out, okay, I took this game, I went back to the gaming shop and said, no, this game, I want Final Fantasy VI back, yeah. I want Final Fantasy VI back, I said, and then I exchanged again. Yeah, I had all. I don't want to keep things I don't like. And it was cool because I bought these games used. They were quite expensive. They were really expensive, and so I bought them in the gaming shop used. Yeah, so for them it was no real big deal. They said, yeah, come on, we exchange another time, maybe you are happy now. And I gave Final Fantasy VI another try. And what I have to say, I found out I like this game too. Yeah. Although the combat is just a whole nother world, but everything else in this game, it was just so much fun. It was a world of fantasy to explore. Yeah. Even a journey to the stars, to the moon. And now what came out of Final Fantasy was the same for the old Final Fantasy games. It was always a very a story with twists and intriguing, or how it's called, intrigue and dramatic. Yeah, drama, with lots of drama in it, and all. The only thing which is in every Zelda game are chocobos and a story about crystals, and everything else is up to the fantasy. Yeah, and I like that. And yeah, and this Final Fantasy was I don't know. I guess it was Final Fantasy 5. I got it wrong. It was Final Fantasy 5. Yeah, or the Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, right. Mystic Quest was one on the console. Then the second one is the one I bought. This was a story about Cecile, a dark knight, who eventually became a paladin. Yeah, and of course rescues the world, saves the world from the fate falling into darkness. Yeah, shortly spoken, because there's much more in this game. You encounter a big story with many characters. You always, it was cool. Yeah. And about some months later, I got Mystic Quest 2 and played it just to have played this first Final Fantasy game. Yeah. And the third Final Fantasy game, released in the States, an English version. Yeah. The third Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy VI in Japanese. This was also for the Super Nintendo system, the last one. And this game was, again, so much cooler. A story on a very grand scale. Okay. I see the episode soon ends now. Okay. Yeah, I got them. I continue the next one.